Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, the government is in damage control, defending mounting budget criticism and ramping up storm recovery efforts. While it's focusing attention on fixing our battered roads, the opposition is poking holes in the handling of state finances.
Rockcliffe, the repairman, hitting the ground for a pothole blitz. Joining crews as they deal with the aftermath of recent wild weather.
It's been bad for power, it's been also bad for potholes.
The severe storms battering major roads, leaving a trail of destruction, the Bass Highway bearing the brunt.
The enemy of roads is water and frost, and it's certainly taken its toll when it comes to the number of potholes that have appeared, particularly across the northwest coast.
We've had over $650,000 worth of damage that we're yet to clean up. Still,
with a mountain of work ahead of them, the long-term focus turns to permanent solutions.
You can go out and pothole them until the cows come home, but that's not the permanent solution. It's frustrating for us, it's frustrating for the road users.
We need to do more. The pothole blitz is a very important part of the plan.
Labor seeing the patch-up job as just that.
This is another infrastructure stuff up by Michael Ferguson that's having to be cleaned up by Jeremy Rockcliffe.
Pointing at holes in the recent state budget and its big ticket items.
The debt keeps spiralling. There is no plan for a surplus anytime in the next 4 years. And they've simply said everything's too hard. They've given up.
The opposition wanting to introduce a ban on pork barrelling, putting government spending promises under the microscope.
We cannot afford for the Liberals to be running around Tasmania as they have been, offering tens of millions of dollars to anyone that they're associated with.
I've never heard a bigger load of bullcrap coming from Labor Party, who spend $4 billion, spending more money like drunken sailors during the election.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
A flypast and commemoration service took over Hobart Cenotaph this morning, marking the 84th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. The event honouring the pilots and aircrew who fought in the Second World War.
It's the summer of 1940 and the world's first aerial combat is raging the skies of southern England. The Battle of Britain seeing the Commonwealth's Royal Air Force defend Britain from the Germans during World War II.
There were some 16 nations that joined with the RAF in fighting that battle.
Considered one of Britain's most important victories and often credited with preventing Nazi Germany from invading the United Kingdom.
The most decisive from the point of view of the RAF and the Allies actually stopping Hitler's invasion, because up to that point he had swept everyone and everything away in front of him.
84 years on, and the Tasmanian division of the Australian Air Force continue commemorating the anniversary. Hobart Cenotaph attracting crowds today as Tasmanians young and old gathered to remember pilots who served and sacrificed in the war. A moment of silence for those who never returned home. An opportunity for current Royal Australian Air Force to honour and reflect on events long past.
Important for us current serving members to remain connected to those veterans and commemorate and celebrate what they achieved. At
least 10 Australians were killed in combat, including 2 Tasmanians. Only one Irish fighter pilot remains alive to tell the tales of conflict.
Retired Group Captain John Paddy Hemingway. His story and his memory and the legacy of all the others needs to be remembered and carried forward.
Today's service closing with Air Force personnel performing a flyover the River Derwent before soaring over the Cenotaph. Rebecca Gaidaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
South Hobart Primary School soccer players and their families braved today's weather conditions to celebrate their own success. A massive jump in registration numbers across all grades got the ball rolling on what's in store next year.
All in the love of the beautiful game, the South Hobart Primary School Soccer Fun Day had something for everyone. From face painting, a sausage sizzle to a few scratch matches. There's a lot the school has to be proud of.
Celebrating the massive year that we've had. You know, the players have really stepped up and, you know, we're doing all sorts of things. We're playing in all competitions.
The school also kicking goals of its own, with over 50% of all its students playing the game. One in particular who's running rings around her opponents on the indoor pitch is headed to Barcelona with the national futsal team.
I'm just so excited. I've been to Barcelona before, but never for this, so I'm really happy.
It'll be no walk in the park though, with Izzy and her other teammates playing half a dozen games and training most mornings. It comes as the South Hobart Primary School soccer program has seen a 20% jump in registrations from girls on the grass this season.
With 24 teams having been entered across this whole season this year, my lack of talent would barely let me make the lineup.
Oh! With greater participation numbers expected and more end-of-season days like this planned next year, the local soccer club is jumping with joy. Will Body, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers are fighting for a third-place finish against Al Riyadi Ba'iru in the FIBA Intercontinental Cup in Singapore. At half-time, Tasmania was in the lead by 7 points. It comes after Tasmania narrowly missed out in a spot in the grand final last night. G-League United will take on Unicaja later tonight for the tournament championship. South Launceston has been crowned the 2024 champions in the NTFA Premier Division, clinching onto a 9-point victory over Longford. Tom Foon making a statement only minutes into the first quarter, notching up this goal.
Toss and kick to the Invermay end. Foon just lays back and hits the middle. What a start for the Bulldogs. A minute 14 in the term and Foon gets them underway with a lovely goal.
But it wasn't long before the Tigers clawed back. Mitchell Bennett booting a goal to get them on the scoreboard.
Started really well under the injury cloud. Here's an opportunity, chance, shot at goal, is a goal to the Tigers. Their first of the afternoon, the first of the grand final going the way of Mitchell Bennett.
The Bulldogs were down by 15 points early in the third term, but a sudden burst for glory saw them secure 5 of the next 6 goals on their way to a flag-claiming 68-59 win.
Good evening. Hobart and Launceston both 13 degrees this Sunday, 14 observed at Devonport and Burnie. 15 at Friendly Beaches, 14 for St Helens, 13 at Smithton, Lowhead and Marai Island, 12 on the islands and at Bushy Park, Grove 11, Strawn 10 and 5 at Laiweenie. High cloud increased about the west and south today as a cold front approached from the southwest. We experienced low cloud to the south of the Bight associated with a high pressure system. Tomorrow the cold front will push over southern and eastern Tasmania, while a high to the west extends ridges over Victoria and to the south of the state. Southwesterly winds increasing to 35 knots about the southeast and lower east, southwesterly swells building to 5.5 metres. There is a gale warning for coastal waters between St Helens Point to Southeast Cape. A strong wind warning has also been issued for all remaining waters, including Frederick Henry, Norfolk, Storm Bay and the Channel. We have a minor flood warning for the Huon River, and the warning for sheep graziers continues about the southeast. Wet weather continues in the south tomorrow. Hobart 14, 12 in Dover and 13 the high for Ooze. A partly cloudy day for Launceston and Scottsdale, aiming for 15. 15 also in Devonport with a shower or 2. Showery across Burnie and Stanley 14, 12 and showers in Strawn. Grey skies in St Helens, 15 there. Possible showers in Swansea, 15 also. And 13 for Ross with a couple of showers. Forecast for Tuesday, showers about the west, far south and Bass Strait Islands, along with gusty northwesterly winds in the evening and snow to 800 metres. Wednesday, showers about the west and north extending statewide. Now that will ease in the afternoon and snow is forecast to the 600 metre mark. And on Thursday, showers about the west and north extending to most remaining districts. Snowy conditions still lingering to approximately 700 metres. Fine and sunny in Sydney, Brisbane and Perth tomorrow. Canberra waking to another morning frost. Cloudy right now. Hobart and Devonport both 8 degrees and 9 in Launceston. And there'll be plenty more rain topping up the tanks this week, Louise.
That's all your news for this weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.